Imagine a samurai walking down a dusty road. He is a master of the blade, a man who has stared death in the face 100 times without blinking. Suddenly, a stray dog rushes from an alley, barking and snapping at his heels. The dog is loud, annoying, and filthy. Now ask yourself, does the samurai draw his katana? Does he scream at the dog? Does he drop to his knees and bark back? Of course not. If he did, he would no longer be a samurai. He would be a madman. He would lower himself to the level of the beast. To the warrior, the dog's noise is not an insult. It is simply the nature of a dog to bark. Yet in your own life, you draw your sword at every barking dog you meet. A colleague makes a snide comment. A driver cuts you off. A stranger on the internet questions your intelligence. And immediately, you are triggered. Your pulse rises. Your hands shake. You feel the burning need to respond, to correct them, to win. You think you are defending your honor. You are not. You are revealing your slavery. You are proving that your internal state is not under your command, but is easily hijacked by the cheapest provocations of the outside world. You have been conditioned to believe that silence is weakness. You have been told that if you do not clap back, you are submitting. This is a lie designed to keep you reactive and weak. The ancient Stoics and the masters of the East knew the truth. Silence is not submission. Silence is the void in which the fool screams himself to death. Silence is the ultimate assertion of power. To understand this, we must look at the Taoist parable of the empty boat. Imagine you are rowing a small boat across a misty river. Suddenly, another boat crashes into yours. You almost capsize. Anger flares in your chest. You stand up, ready to scream at the idiot who steered into you. You are ready to curse his lineage and threaten his life. But then, you look closer. The other boat is empty. There is no one steering it. It was just drifting with the current. What happens to your anger? It vanishes instantly. There is no one to be angry at. It was just an accident of the river. Here is the lesson. The boat is always empty. When someone insults you, when they disrespect you, when they attack your character, they are not driven by a rational assessment of your value. They are driven by the currents of their own trauma, their own insecurity, and their own blindness. They are drifting boats, crashing into everything around them because they have no rudder. When you realize this, taking it personally becomes impossible. You do not get angry at the wind for blowing. You do not get angry at the empty boat. You simply adjust your course. History gives us a brutal example of this in the life of Cato the Younger, the Roman Stoic who was perhaps the only man Julius Caesar feared. Cato was once in the public baths when a man, confused and angry, struck him in the face. Cato was a powerful man. He could have had the offender killed or exiled. He could have beaten him to a pulp right there on the stone floor. Instead, Cato did nothing. Later, when the man realized who he had struck, he came to Cato, weeping and begging for forgiveness, terrified of the retribution. Cato looked at him and simply said, "I do not remember being hit." Think about the weight of that statement. He did not forgive the man, because forgiveness implies that an offense was taken. He did not punish the man, because the man was beneath punishment. He simply refused to accept the event into his reality. The insult did not land because there was no ego there to catch it. The man was a barking dog. Cato was the mountain. The mountain does not remember the storm. This is the level of psychological armor you must forge. But how do you apply this in a world that is constantly trying to provoke you? You need a protocol.
You need a way to override your biological instinct to fight back. The first step is the 3-second pause. This is your circuit breaker. When the insult hits, your amygdala, the lizard brain, wants to fire instantly. It wants to yell, type, or swing. You must train yourself to insert a gap. Inhale, hold for 3 seconds. In that silence, you regain your executive function. You move from the animal brain to the human brain. In those 3 seconds, you ask yourself one question. Is this a threat to my life, or just a threat to my ego? If it is a threat to your life, you act with decisive force. But 99% of the time, it is just your ego. It is just a barking dog. And once you realize that, the need to react dissolves. The second step is the gray rock method. This is a technique often used in dealing with narcissists and sociopaths, but it applies to all disrespect. Toxic people feed on reaction. They are emotional vampires. They want to see you blush. They want to see you stutter. They want to see you rage. It gives them a sense of control. If you give them anger, you feed them. If you give them an apology, you feed them. To become a gray rock is to become utterly uninteresting. You offer no surface for their hooks to grab. They insult you. You look them in the eye, pause, and say nothing. Or you give a non-committal nod and go back to your work. You deny them the dopamine hit of your reaction. You will watch them crumble. They will try harder, they will get louder, and eventually, they will burn themselves out or move on to a softer target. By refusing to play their game, you win by default. There is a myth you must kill in your mind. The idea that you must teach them a lesson. You think that by arguing, by explaining, by shouting, you will force them to respect you. You will not. You cannot teach a man who is committed to misunderstanding you. When you argue with a fool, there are two fools. Disrespect is often a test. They are prodding you to see if you have a frame. If you break frame to argue, you have failed the test. You have shown that your stability is conditional on their behavior. True confidence is quiet. It has nothing to prove. A king does not enter a shouting match with a peasant. A lion does not explain himself to a sheep. If you are truly secure in your value, the opinions of others are merely noise. They are the wind around the stone. This path requires a death of the ego. The ego wants to be the main character. The ego wants to be right. The ego wants everyone to acknowledge your status. But the warrior knows that status is an internal metric. It is measured by your self-control, not by the applause or the insults of the crowd. When you master the art of silence, you become dangerous. People become unsettled by a man who does not react. They project their own fears onto your silence. They wonder what you are thinking. They wonder what you are planning. Your silence becomes a mirror in which they see their own foolishness reflected back at them. This is the shadow aspect of this philosophy. You are not being silent to be nice. You are being silent because you are holding the high ground, and you are watching them drown in their own chaos. The next time you feel the heat of disrespect, the next time the boat crashes into you, remember the empty boat. Remember the barking dog. Do not draw your sword for a nuisance. Keep it sheathed for the true battles of life. The world is full of noise. It is full of lost souls screaming for attention, begging to drag you down into the mud with them. Do not go. Stand firm. Breathe. Let the insult pass through you like a ghost. The only question is, are you the master of your own soul?
Or can any stranger with a loud mouth turn you into his puppet? Cut the strings. The show is over.